Rush Hudson Limbaugh III was an American conservative political commentator who was the host of the Rush Limbaugh Show, which first aired in 1984 and was nationally syndicated on AM and FM radio stations from 1988 until his death in 2021. Limbaugh became one of the premier conservative voices in the United States during the 1990s and hosted a national television show from 1992 to 1996. He was among the most highly compensated figures in American radio history. In 2018, Forbes listed his earnings at $84.5 million. In December 2019, Talkers magazine estimated that Limbaugh's show attracted a cumulative weekly audience of 15.5 million listeners to become the most listened to radio show in the United States. Limbaugh also wrote 7 books, his first 2, The Way Things Ought to Be and See, I Told You So, made the New York Times bestseller list. Limbaugh garnered controversy from his statements on race, LGBT matters, feminism, sexual consent, and climate change. Despite being a polarizing figure, he was inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame and the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. During the 2020 State of the Union address, President Donald Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Early years. Originally from Charlotte, Michigan, Rush was recruited by Lansing Catholic High School in Lansing, Michigan, with an enrollment of just over 500 students, where he became a 3-year starter at quarterback for the football team. He also played basketball and baseball. In 2010 and 2011, he led his team to back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. In 2011, he led his team to the state runner-up title. In the Division V regional championship game against Dowagiac Union High School, he set Michigan State records with 5 touchdown passes in 1 quarter and 8 for the game. The team would end up losing in the finals against Powers Catholic High School 26-56, even though he registered 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. As a senior he received All-State, Associated Press Michigan Division V 6th Player of the Year and ESPN's Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year honors. He finished his high school career throwing for 7,248 passing yards, 80 passing touchdowns, 1,438 rushing yards and 27 rushing touchdowns. A 3-star recruit, Cooper Rush only received scholarship offers from Central Michigan and Toledo, but received preferred walk-on offers from Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, and Western Michigan. College career. In his redshirt season at Central Michigan, he was named the school's Scout Team Player of the Year. As a freshman, although he began the season as the third-string quarterback, he was named the starter by the 3rd game, after Cody Cater was injured and his backup Alex Nisnik couldn't move the offense against the University of New Hampshire. In that contest he came in the 2nd quarter and helped engineer a 24-21 come-from-behind victory, where he tallied 326 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, tying the school record for the longest in history. He would never relinquish the position or miss a start after the game. As a sophomore, he played in the 2014 Bahamas Bowl against Western Kentucky. By the middle of the 3rd quarter, his team had fallen behind 49-14, but scored 4 unanswered touchdowns and were down by only 7 points near the end of the 4th quarter. With 1 second remaining on the contest, Central Michigan had the ball on their own 25-yard line. The would-be final play started with a 45-yard Hail Mary pass from Rush to wide receiver Jesse Kroll. As Kroll was being tackled he lateraled the ball to teammate Dion Butler, who ran 20 yards before lateraling to Courtney Williams. With no space to run, Williams made a quick third lateral pass to leading receiver Titus Davis who ran the final 13 yards, scoring a touchdown that would have tied the game with a kicked extra point and sent the game into overtime, but instead Central Michigan attempted a 2-point conversion for the win, which was unsuccessful. Had the try succeeded, It would have marked the largest comeback in Bowl history and tied the largest comeback in any Division I game. His 7 touchdown passes set an all-time record for all bowl games. His best season came as a junior in 2015. Through the first 13 games he had 3,703 passing yards, which was a new school single-season record. He completed 66.3% of his passes for 3,848 total passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. As a senior, his production dropped to 3,540 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, but with 16 interceptions and a low 59.8 completion percentage. Against Oklahoma State University, the game sparked controversy after the officials made an incorrect call that would eventually give Central Michigan the win. Oklahoma State threw the ball away to end the game and received a penalty for intentional grounding. Under college football rules, the game would have ended and Oklahoma State would have won the game. However, the officials gave Central Michigan an untimed down, and Rush threw a 51-yard Hail Mary pass to wide receiver Jesse Kroll, who made a lateral to fellow receiver Corey Willis at the 12-yard line, running for a touchdown with no time remaining for a 30-27 win. The team lost 55-10 to Tulsa in the 2016 Miami Beach Bowl at the end of the season. He finished his college career with 49 straight starts, 12,894 passing yards and 90 touchdowns. College statistics. Professional career. Coming out of Central Michigan, Rush was projected by the majority of NFL draft experts and analysts to be a 7th-round pick or a priority undrafted free agent. On December 6, 2016, it was announced that Rush had accepted his invitation to the East-West Shrine Game. On January 21, 2017, Rush performed in the East-West Shrine Game for the East and completed 11 of 17 pass attempts for 97 yards in a 10-3 loss to the West. He received an invitation to the NFL Combine and performed almost all of the required drills except for the bench press. He had an underwhelming lackluster performance and had some of the lowest marks at the Combine. On March 20, 2017, Rush participated at Central Michigan's Pro Day and chose to attempt the vertical jump, broad jump, short shuttle, and 3-cone drill once again. He gave a slower time in the 3-cone drill, but was able to have better results in the vertical, broad, and short shuttle. Rush was ranked the 14th best quarterback prospect in the draft by NFLDraftScout.com. Dallas Cowboys. 2017. 2018, 2019, 2020. New York Giants. On May 5, 2020, Rush was claimed off waivers by the New York Giants, reuniting with offensive coordinator Jason Garrett, who was his head coach with the Cowboys. On September 5, 2020, he was waived and signed to the practice squad the next day. On September 29, 2020, Rush was released from the Giants' practice squad to make room for another former Cowboys quarterback. Dallas Cowboys. 2021. 2022.